Hello, happy Easter. Have you ever really want to do something and either you feel stuck or really scared to do it? Or perhaps you feel even paralyzed and you have made no move. Today, I want to talk to you about the fear of failure. And this is a very common fear and it stops people from doing so many things or fulfilling their dreams even. So the first, we might wonder, why are we so afraid of failure? So I will talk to you about different things that impact this fear. But I want you to know that the other side of fear is actually freedom and fulfillment. So if we can overcome this fear of failure, we will experience freedom and fulfillment, and we so deserve it. They say that courage is not the absence of fear. It's when we feel afraid and we still do it anyway. So the first factor is more about other people. We are afraid of how other people would judge us. Well, I can tell you that as a blind person, if I'm so concerned, I still do. I'm human. So if I'm so concerned about what other people think of me, I would not do a lot of things in my life, even doing this YouTube video, right? Or doing YouTube at all, because I'm not able to look at you directly, not able to have eye contact, and that's a big no-no for videos. But I still do it anyway. I still share with you about my thoughts and my experiences. And the thing is that other people's discouragement is based on their values, it's based on their experiences, it's based on their own self-doubts, their own fears. So you can't let other people's baggage stop you live the life you want to live. So the biggest favor you can do for yourself is not let others affect you. And then the rest of the reasons more to do with ourselves, because often it's us who stop us, right? So another thing that affects our fear of failure is the self-doubts. And a lot of self-doubts is based on, past experience as past failures. But the thing is that the past is the past, and the past is not the present unless you make it, or the past is not the future unless you let that happen. Like say, for example, maybe 1900, right? If you ask people, has there ever been any evidence that anyone could fly in the air? The answer would be no, right? That's based on past experience. Or they would, if you ask, has there ever been anyone who ever been to the moon? The answer would be no. But that's based on the past. It's not based on the future. So don't let the past stop you. Often it's our own self-doubts. So try to quiet that voice down inside you. Or if you can, try to ignore it, because it can be very loud. But the thing is that when you achieve things, the more things you achieve, the more that voice will become more and more quiet. Another one is the fear of consequences. Often we're afraid, what would happen if we do this and we fail, right? One of the things that really helped me is, I think to myself, if I have lost in the sea for 10 days, if I didn't die, what else could be really worse, And so often ask yourself, are the fears as big as you think, right? Because often we have these ideas about what if we fail, this will happen, that will happen. Well, if that happens, we can deal with that when it happens. But before it happens, set your goals and work towards them. Another fear is, another thing that's in the way is we set this initial unrealistic expectations. So I might think, just because I do YouTube channel, that means within the next week or so, I would have, like thousands of views, or I would have hundreds of subscribers. Well, guess what? That's not going to happen. So we can have big dreams, we can have big goals, but also start with smaller goals, slowly raising your bars, and you don't go, like say for example, in order to go on the top of the mountain, do you jump from the ground to the mountain? No, that's not a smart thing to do. right? Unless you have something that help you, like a helicopter or something. I don't know, right, Hans? Otherwise, the thing is, we have to climb the mountain. Same thing, right? If you have a set of stairs, you don't go from the ground right to the top of the stairs. You gotta take step by step. That's what common sense, smart people do. So have big dreams, but then break down that dream into small goals. So my next goal for my YouTube channel is 100 subscribers. So I'm not there yet at all. And yet I'm still enjoying the journey. Another one is perfectionism. Holy, like how many times I still have a clip that because of perfectionism I have not posted yet. And so don't let perfectionism stop you. So rather than striving for perfectionism, strive to do your best effort. And your best effort today will be different from your best effort months from now or years from now. So don't strive for perfectionism. Strive to do your best in what you know, what you can do today. And as you do that, you're going to know more about how to do it better. The thing with the way to really help you to look at failures is this. The recipe of mastery about anything, or the recipe of being successful in doing anything, is lots and lots of errors, lots and lots of tweaking, lots and lots of things that we would call failures. And I like to think of them as setbacks or temporary defeats or even lessons, because all the great inventions in the world, guess what? They all start with things that break down at first, things that didn't go well at first, right? All the great inventions in the world. Or even if you look at sports, people who are really successful in sports, they also do a lot of practice. They also make a lot of errors. So you really need to stop looking at things as pass or fails, because if we look at a black white like that, we're going to be paralyzed and we're not going to want to do things. Look at things as it's a process, right? As a baby, we crawl and then we slowly trail our hands to get up, and then we slowly walk, and then eventually we run, and then eventually some people, they go on to do triathlons or even marathons, right? So we don't start right away. No one is born doing things perfectly. So we got to look at, rather than failures, I look at things as, I don't know, information, feedback, or temporary defeats, or even lessons. So many times I've learned things, and the biggest lesson is often correlated with the biggest mistakes as well, like mistakes in a relationship, mistake in career. So don't let those things stop you. And the last one, this one is counterintuitive, is actually the fear of success. Yes. Often we're afraid that if we succeed that thing, then there's more to do. There's more expectation. I remember that in 2010, when I graduated from my counseling psychology degree, then there were a lot more things that I didn't expect. People would invite me to talk on radio shows. People would write about me in the newspapers. Then I have to apply for jobs, which many interviews I would get rejected by. But then after that, after I got my job, then I would have to learn to interact with clients. Some clients love me, some clients not happy with me, even today, or co-workers, right, or boss. And so often we're afraid that as we become successful at something, and I'm talking about personal success. I'm not talking about success in terms of, being very rich or success based on people's standards. I'm talking about your own personal success, something that you would call success. Often we're afraid that once we succeed that, we will have more things to deal with. And so before we end today, I want to read to you this quote. This quote, I got this from, that the movie Coach Carter. And right at the end, if you watch that movie, right at the end, there's this quote. So just bear with me. I'm going to read this to you. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond our measure. It is light. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own lights shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So do what you want to do. Live your life and don't let your fears stop you. So thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you next time. Bye bye.